Welcome to the December 9th, 2025 City Council meeting, 6:30 p.m. City Council Chamber. We'll start with the prayer. Dear God, today's the session opens. We pray that your presence will be before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction, which will lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we granted this day the wisdom to make decisions would be for the best of our city, for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city, make it a better place to live and work. Amen. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. The clerk, please call the roll.
Council Mercier.
Here.
Council Noon.
Here.
Council Robinson.
Here.
Mayor Rourke.
Here.
Council Scott.
Here.
Council Yem.
Here.
Council Belanger.
Here.
Council Chow.
Here.
Council Dakota. Council Gitchia.
Here.
Council Janess. 10 present. 9 present.
Council Mercier.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to offer a moment of silence in darkened chamber for Edna Barrett Panagiotakis, loving wife for 63 years to the late William Steve Panagiotakis, who died in 2022. Edna was a devoted mother of 4. She worked in her early days in the office at Interwoven Garment Company in Martinburg, West Virginia, where she was born. After raising her children in Lowell, she worked at the Card Cottage in Westford, Mass. For several years, and then embarked on a 20-year career as a payroll administrator at Marathon Staffing in Tingsboro, Mass. Edna is survived by her 4 children, former Senator Steve Panagiotakis and his wife Christine, Officer Christopher Panagiotakis and his wife Kelly, her 2 daughters Sophia Agoyan and her husband John, Athena Panagiotakis and her husband Christos Panagiotopoulos, 7 grandchildren and 7 great-grandchildren. Edna was a devout member of St. George's Antiochian Orthodox Church. We offer our condolences to her family, relatives, and her many friends. I'd also like to offer a moment of silence in darkened chamber for George W. O'Hare, a beloved political figure and lifelong resident of Lowell. He was a longtime parishioner of the Sacred Heart Parish. George began his education at Notre Dame Academy before attending Sacred Heart Elementary, where he graduated with the class of 1952. During his formative years, he was an active Boy Scout and an altar boy. George then continued to Keith Academy High School, class of 1956, where he followed his father's athletic footsteps and excelled in sports and leadership. A natural athlete, he spent there playing on the basketball and football teams. George also served as president of both his sophomore and junior classes and won high honors as the sports editor for the Keith Centennial. Following high school, George went to join the United States Marines in 1956. He completed training at Paris Island and Camp Pendleton before being stationed in Kanohi, Oahu, Hawaii. And I have to put this in because this is amazing. As a corporal and a diary and corresponding clerk, George was immensely proud of his service. Although he served during a time of non-active war, he happily shared stories of his time in Hawaii, including being stationed during the filming of the movie South Pacific and having orders of escorting actress Mitzi Gaynor around the island. I thought that was fascinating to me because I go back to those days. Upon returning home, George began a distinguished 40-year career with the New England Telephone Company as a construction head lineman. Moving up the ladder, George eventually retired with Verizon as a public relations director. In his spare time, George was an active leader in the community, director and coach of the Sacred Heart Church, CYO Intermediate, assistant scoutmaster, Troop 36, BSA, Boy Scouts of America, co-founder and coach of the Lowell Junior Football League, director and coach of Lowell Pop Warner Football League. He also became a registered USA umpire and played in various men's leagues in the city. Judge took time to continue his education by attending college such as Northeastern University, UMass Lowell, Merrimack College, and the Wentworth Institute, earning a degree in civil and highway engineering. Judge served 12 years in the Lowell School Committee. Judge served 26 consecutive years on the Greater Lowell Technical School Committee. Judge leaves behind his 2 daughters, Susan O'Hare and Dara O'Hare, his 5 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild. We offer our condolences to his family, relatives, and many friends. And lastly, I'd also like to offer a moment of silence in darkened chamber for all those who passed away since our last city council meeting. May they all rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council. Any others? Mr. Clerk, docket of the chamber, please.
May they rest in peace.
Moving on, section 2, mayor's business, 2.1, a communication for remote Zoom participation. Motion to accept the place on file by Council Yam, second by Council Scott. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Section 3, city clerk, 3.1, minutes of the city council regular meeting, December 2nd, Parks Recreation Subcommittee, December 3rd for acceptance. Motion to accept the place on file by Council Robinson, second by Council Noon. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 3.2 is a vote. Cancel council meetings 12:23 and 12:30. Waive the full reading and second reading by title. Motion to adopt by Council Belanger, second by Council Chow. Comments? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Noon.
Yes.
Counsel Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Scott.
Yes.
Counsel Yem.
Yes.
Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Counsel Chow.
Yes.
Counsel Dakota. Counsel Getchia.
No.
Counsel Janess. 8-1.
Moving on, section 4, get to 7 p.m. 5, city council motions.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Before we get into the city council meeting, is it possible that I could suspend the rules and bring in 7.5?
By Council Mercia, second by Council Chow, to take 7.5 out of order. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 7.5 is a vote to authorize payment of bills incurred in excess of appropriations. The motion to adopt. Council Young, second by Council Noon. Questions or comments? Council Getchia.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. I just want to commend the school department for their hard work in getting this down. Just short a year ago, we were back here with millions of dollars, and now we're down to under $5,000. So I think it's amazing the work they've done, and I thank them for their hard work in getting their bills paid on time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Noon. Yes. Counsel Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Scott.
Yes.
Counsel Yem.
Yes.
Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Counsel Chow.
Yes.
Counsel Dakota. Counsel Getchia.
Yes.
Counsel Janess.
Council Getchia, 5-6. By Council Getchia, second by Council Mercia, take 5.6 out of order. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.6 by Council Getchia, request city manager of the property department work with the Highland Neighborhood Group and the Monument Committee to identify a location at Tyler Park and install a monument acknowledging Nancy and Bernie Judge's lifelong contributions to the Highlands neighborhood. Seconded by Council Noon. Council Getchia.
There is a registered speaker here, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Clerk.
Robert Hunt.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, and staff, members of the City Council. My name is Robert Hunt, and I live at 48 Florence Avenue. I am the president of Friends of Tyler Park and a member of the Highlands Neighborhood Association. I first want to thank Council Pitcher for making this motion. It was at Bob and Anne Marie Page's monument dedication that we spoke about for Nancy and Bernie. Nancy and Bernie worked with the Highlands Neighborhood Association and the Friends of Tyler Park span years of dedicated service and continue to this day. The Friends of Tyler Park has just finished our holiday toy drive collection for the Lowell Police Department. It was a great success. My hope is that the monument decided upon is in keeping with the location and style of the historic homestead design park. And this acknowledgement is very well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Getchia.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. As long as I've been alive, I can only remember the hard work that both have done for our community. And I think it's a fitting tribute to their hard work to the neighborhoods in trying to give us a better community. So I thank everyone for their support. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Chow?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to thank Councilor Gitchia for putting this motion on. It's a great motion. I wish I could come with it before him because there's no one more deserving than Nancy and Mr. Judge. As you can hear, the president of Tyler Park himself came in full support of these endeavors. As the maker of the motion mentioned, anybody knows her that she's very committed to the neighborhood, to the park. She helps everybody, whether they're just starting out in their community service, political career, to veterans, been it for a long time, very supportive, always bringing information, community information, neighborhood information, to involve, to engage everybody. They never ask for this type of recognition. That's why they deserve it the most. I ask all my colleagues to support this as well. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor Belenja?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I concur with Councilor Chow. I, too, would like to thank Councilor Gitchie for bringing this forward. Bernie and Nancy Judge absolutely epitomize the spirit of volunteerism here in the city of Lowell. They've done so much, and it spans decades, what they've done. The accomplishments are just, much as I'd like to do it, there's just too many to mention at this time. So I think it's a great, very tasteful, appropriate motion, one I will support, and very much look forward to a monument dedication in the near future. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Noon?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councilor Gitchia, for bringing up the motions, and Bob for being here and speak in support of. It's not that difficult for anyone to recognize Nancy's and for her work, her commitment, decade, not just for the Highland neighborhood meeting, but also for the Tyler Park as well. And now Bob is taking over that. Despite that, Nancy is still around doing the work, care about the community, particularly the Highlands. So I thank you, for all of us to support this.
Councilor Mercia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to go on record to say I support this motion 1,000%. This is not just one family member, but this is a husband and a wife that devoted so much to this city, to the betterment of their neighborhood. Nancy serves with me on the board of directors for the Friends of the Council on Aging. She's just a tremendous woman, and I'm so proud of her and her husband Bernie involved with sports for the youth all these years. And you hear about people that are the unsung heroes that go about making the city a better place to live and not looking for anything in return. That is this couple. And I'm so very honored to be friends with them, to know them very well all through the years. You'd think after a while they would, not be involved, but they're right there every single time. So thank you very much, Eric, for making this motion. It's much appreciated for a couple that is just amazing. Thank you.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Noon.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Council Scott.
Yes.
Council Yem.
Yes.
Council Belanja.
Yes.
Council Chow.
Yes.
Council Dakota. Council Gitchia.
Yes.
Council Janess.
Motion to take 5.3 out of order by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Scott. All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.3 is request city administration and city council consider working with Thrive Communities to assist their operational challenges for a one-year period. Seconded by Councilor Gitchia.
There is a registered speaker here, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Clerk.
Kim, yes, sir? You all set?
All good? Thanks for coming. That's right, yeah. Come in anytime. You got it. No problem, yeah. Councilor Robinson, good.
Thank you. Again, as we're all aware, I think there's going to be a lot of local organizations that are facing challenging times operationally. So anything we can do to try to assist is greatly appreciated. I'll have the organization reach out and explain the situation that they're dealing with and see, maybe we come back with a motion response that we can take a look at things. Thank you.
Councilor Yem.
Just a quick question. It's a great organization, but what's the difference with UTEC? UTEC has similar program working with the young people, incarcerated young people, even while they were incarcerated, and get them when they come back and work with them? Are going to be similar program? That's just my question to the make of the motions.
So the difference, one of the major differences between the two is Thrive pretty much picks up where UTEC leaves off. So they focus more of adults and older people that are re-entering back into the community. And if you'd like to hear from what the differences are, but that's for the most part, they pick up where UTEC leaves off. Thank you.
Councilor Mercia.
Thank you. Just for a thought, let's say we could help like Thrive in this particular way. Say that they have like 7 parking spots in the garage and they pay yearly every month for having their employees work there. Well, instead of laying 3 people off, maybe we could switch it so that they only pay for half of the people that park there, and the other people, they save that money so that they don't have to pay for the parking, but they can pay to keep their people there. To be creative like that, it's just a suggestion. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Through the council, councils, we have the opportunity to work creatively with all of our nonprofits. So, per Councilor Robinson's suggestion, if we can, I'll take it offline. We'll talk. In any other organization, we would always be willing, as we've helped in the past. So.
Yeah, this
That's
is a
probably the
tough
easiest.
time for the different nonprofit organizations that help those in need. And this is one of those groups, Thrive. I know them because I've been involved at times helping as well. So that's good to know. We don't want them to go defunct and take off and we have no people. It'd be better to do something to help. Thank you.
Councilor Noon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good to know that our city, the city managers is ready and willing to help with any operational challenge any nonprofit has, whether that be, wherever that be, if you come to the city, you do what you can to address those issues and concerns if we can. Thank you very much.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Returning to the top of the motion list, that being quite 7 p.m. So 5.1, Councilor Robinson requests City Council and the administration, along with any other community partners, explore sending a letter of support for an act relative of life-saving treatment, Senate 1042, to the proper legislative channel. Seconded by Councilor Yem. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. This is one of those things that caught my attention. It's something that we've had numerous conversations time and time again in regards to unhoused mental health, substance abuse, and all this. There's actually a Senate bill filed, and the approach to it is basically looking at removing logistical and emotional barriers during moments of serious medical or psychiatric crisis. It offers treatment first as a best strategy, and there's a big push they're looking at out in Boston at the construction of out in the harbor of a facility out there, and that they've already allocated some additional resources towards clinicians and social service workers that would pretty much be the boots on the ground and intervene at key points. And so I think I would urge all my colleagues as well as the administration to take a peek at this bill, and I'd like to at least have a conversation and see if it's something that we'd be willing to send a letter in support of. Thank you.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.2, Councilor Robinson requests City Manager have the proper department provide a path forward for all elected officials to be compensated. Seconded by Councilor Scott. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. I know this is tough. I know there's state law that governs a lot of this stuff. There's no quick fix, but I'm hoping that we can find a path forward to try to figure out. And again, there's no guarantees. I know this is out of our hands, but I just think if we do have a way to do this for different types of elected officials, school, city, then I mean, if we can at least get an informational piece and say this is what it would take, it'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Could I, Mr. Mayor, could I abstain from this, please?
Yeah, that's why I did a roll call. I think so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Counselor Scott.
Yes.
Counselor Yem.
Yes.
Counselor Belanger.
Yes.
Counselor Chow.
Yes.
Counselor Dakota. Counselor Getchia. Counselor Janice.
Counselor Gish abstained.
Yes.
5.4, Counselor Robertson and Getchia request city manager of the proper department explore and provide the council with process required to replace the owner's project manager for the remainder of the high school project. No second needed.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, can I bundle 5.4 with 5.5?
Sure. 5.5, Counselor Robinson, Counselor Getchia as well. Request city manager to explore hiring a clerk of the works to protect the city's interests for the remainder of the high school project. No second needed. Counselor Robinson, good.
Thank you. This motion basically comes about, we get it. We've had some challenges with this project. Without finger pointing or anything, I think we're all in agreement. We have to get this project to the finish line, no question. I'm just hoping that we have a mechanism in place that we can at least have a means to have somebody look out for the city's best interests to get us to the finish line from this point forward. It just seems like it's been a headache for whatever reason. Everything from fixtures in the track, in the bleachers, to infrastructure and flooring and you name it. And so a lot of instances, at least in phase one, we weren't even informed by the people that were supposed to be protecting our best interests. I was informed by a custodian on a walking tour. And so, I mean, it's just, yes, we are, I'm sure we're all in agreement, we are going to have to fund this to get us to the finish line. But how do we go about having somebody that we have confidence in to make sure that our best interests are going to be protected and we are going to get every bit that we're paying for? I would not personally support looking in the direction of value engineering. I think, as was mentioned many times on this floor, what we cut out now that might be 5 million is 50 million in 5-10 years. So, I mean, I think we need to get this done. And I do think we need to put someone in place and in charge to protect the city's and the residents' best interests and see this through. Thank you.
Counselor Getchia.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. I think for the viewing audience, we should probably do some history on what an OPM is. An owner project manager in Massachusetts is mandated when a project is over $1.5 million. They're supposed to manage complexities, control cost, ensure compliance, and provide oversight, protecting public funds and representing the owner's best interest. As we looked, why did the city at the time pick construction management at risk and not go to design, bid, build? Design, bid, build is a process that many communities go to, but the outskirt is when you find out how much the cost is. Wherein you look at construction management at risk, the OPM is the driver to this. They're the ones who go inspect things. They put outlines as that Marianne Williams did for your architect and for your CM. When you look at this project, we had in place a lot of, we were told, they sat up here and told us, we investigated this so deep there won't be nothing. And then we had guaranteed maximum pricing that was put on that. What that means is everything that they investigated got put on a price and it was held. Well, if they didn't investigate anything and it came to change orders, here we are. Just the other day, Mr. Mayor, they took $2.2 million out of the furniture to cover operating costs, which that's ridiculous. And then they told people that, look, you know what, once the council gives us our contingency money, we could put it back. Don't worry about that. It's sad when you read in a motion response, even tonight, about simple things that should be taken care of before they even put in place. Door locks. We have to have Perkins Eastman go out and check and make sure we got what we paid for after someone from the school complained. That's our OPM's job. They should know that going in. And why do we have to now pay another company to come in and look at this stuff and make sure we got what we paid for? That's in the motion response. People should read that. And that's just one of the little details that wasn't done. And when you look throughout this project, we see it all the time, from the basketball floor to even the track. That was a ridiculous design. And everybody knew it going in, but we cut the corner and said we can do rollout bleachers when they run track. What? You spent $400 million for rollout bleachers. It's just ridiculous how much this company and this person got away with. And enough is enough. And I guess it comes down to, I get we're in the later end of it, but we had guaranteed maximum pricing, we were all told. And here we are again. Another change order, more change orders, back to the same thing. And you know who gets paid more? They do. And then when you ask them, they say hourly, and they come to $2.4 million an hour. How do they come to that number? How do they know how many hours? Oh, they must have known how much in the contingency they were going to spend to get to that hour. How do you do that? It's just the worst project. They should be in charge of designing and overseeing garages, parking garages, not projects like Lowell High School. It's ridiculous. And then every single thing we get back is another flaw that they should have overseen, that we have teachers, custodians, everybody else calling the city councilors and telling them what's wrong, and they're in the building and we're not. And Mr. Mayor, I know that you're as frustrated as we all are, but at some point, their eyes should be there. And I'm hoping that we can come up with a compromise, maybe remove some people from the project and get some other people in and make it work. But something has to be done in the best interest of taxpayer, and I'm hoping that they come back with a contingency much lower than the one that they came out with, unless they're borrowing power against phases that they already did is now coming to fruition. And like they said about the furniture moving over $2 million, saying, oh, don't worry about it, we'll pay it back under this contingency, which to me is just underhanded for the taxpayer and underhanded for this council when you have to stand here and find out that the floor needs to be replaced in December when they knew about it in July. Thank you.
Councilor Young.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to be on the record that in 2017, I ran as a candidate for the city council, and I'm one of the candidates that support the Colley. The reason being was that I was involved in renovation 60 Middlesex Street, where the Garnex Brother and Majestic Barber is located right now. It's an old historical building, and I know when you open the wall, there will be some issues and change order. Moving forward, I am as frustrated as everyone else in regarding to the cost overrun, and I am involved with my own renovation. It cost overrun because so many things that beyond my control, but I was the person that in charge of it, and we're not hiring. What I'm concerned is about the high school moving forward. We almost finished the project. I would say like 1/3 left. So if we were to replace the current person, the new person has to come in and learn what the process is all about. So my concern is that if we replace this person, the new person will take time to learn about the project. So I would urge that we continue to, what we have now and finish it because we're almost there. So that's just my personal opinion and comments. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Mercia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am so close to supporting this, but I have to step back and analyze this whole thing. But it makes me happy to say I told you so, because I kind of paid dearly, and so did my colleagues back then that weren't as lucky as I were. They lost the re-election because of their vote for the brand-new high school to be at Colley. I dropped like a rock, but I still stayed here. And I don't want to dwell on the fact that I told you so, but be that as it may, I am as frustrated as everybody else here when we say, tell us the truth, why didn't you know this? But when you take a structure that's over 100 years old and you renovate it, you're bound to have all these problems. And that was one of my main reasons for going with brand new, because brand new, you don't have these problems. I'm sure that the OPM is going to come back here and say, well, we're in the 1892 building and we have, the floor is, we went through it and it's water and this, that, and the other. It's going to cost another X number of dollars. But what do we do when we're almost done? do we then say, let's change the guy? I don't think really he knows what they're going to find there. It's like going in a wall. You don't know, is there asbestos there or what? So having said that, I feel that the thing that I'm questioning is, through you, Mr. Mayor, to the city solicitor, if by changing the OPM, are we violating the law where we're going to cost the taxpayers money? Because if that's the case, that's what's holding me back. I don't want to burden the people that wanted to do the right thing in the first place even further by doing something right now at the 11th hour to change this back to cause a lawsuit. Or can we do it legally? Will this next guy not know the same as the present one?
So I can just, again, and I know that the makers of the motion are here. The two motions just say, just to explore and provide an explanation, that's it. I'm not making any decisions about changing anybody, stopping a project, nothing like that.
Oh,
Just
so
to get information back on if it was,
So, but we combine these two motions together,
they both say the same thing, explore. It doesn't say
Explore.
do it or make a decision on it, or vote on it.
well, I don't mind exploring. I will support it if it's exploring. That's what I want to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll explore it.
This is this evening, no. My guess is, Mr. Manager, you could come back with the options.
All right, then I support exploring. I don't want to support violating the law. That's the difference.
I'm with you. So we got Councilor Belanger, Scott, Chow, then Noon. So Councilor Belanger?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a motion that certainly requires a lot of thought before coming to a decision. It's, you know, we're nearing, as was mentioned, we're nearing the end. We're approximately a year away. I say approximately because I don't have confidence that we're, you know, that will come into fruition at the same time. Now, if we could rewind approximately about a calendar year ago, almost to the day, when a whole host of issues were brought up to this council as to locker rooms, elevators, scoreboards, flooring, bathrooms, roofs, you name it. It was as if this building was 10 years old. But seeing is believing. You know, many of us councilors took a tour with staff members and saw what was brought to our attention. That was real. There was considerable cosmetic damage already done to this brand new facility at that time. With again, and I almost forgot to mention entry doors where there was 2 or 3, 4 entry doors that weren't even operable at the time in a brand new facility. So that right there sent a strong message to me where we were at, but it doesn't end there. The asbestos remediation, you know, we were told, as Councilor Mercy alluded to, the information we got at that time, that was supposed to be 90% remediated. What was it? Over 80% contaminated. And as the OPM stated a week ago, that was the information he had at the time, which probably true, but we hire an OPM to probe into these things to assure that's factual, and it wasn't. And lastly, we all know the basement issue, again, as I stated last week, with decades of flooding issues with the canal that were known, should have resulted in more boring holes in this basement floor. I'm convinced of that more should have been done. So it's not one thing, it's a whole host of issues that are on my mind, resulting in approximately $50 million extra that is strictly on the taxpayers of Lowell. The MSBA funding has dried up, and again, this is strictly on the property owners of Lowell. Very troubling. And that being said, I think that someone needs to be accountable. Something or someone needs to be accountable for this. There should have been, I mean, just the fact that we were told many developer testimonies at this podium in 2017 said when you go in that building and you start tearing down the walls, it's going over, way over. And it was said repeatedly. Fell on deaf ears to most, but here we are. How ironic. But, so I intend on supporting the motion. I think it's warranted. There's no joy in it, for sure. I know it's going to put the strain on the administration and the project, but we've got to do everything we can, and I think it's in the best interest of the project and the taxpayers to make change at this time. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have.
Councilor Scott?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, Councilor Mercier actually brought up the legal aspect. That's all I really wanted to hear. I guess I'll wait for the response to come back as far as whether or not there's a performance clause that we have an out to get out of this contract, and whether or not that's going to cost us to happen. So I'll wait for the motion response. Thank you.
Councilor Chow?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. These are two good motions, very pragmatic, very, very timely. And, I have the same concerns as my previous colleague spoke on. Basically, we're late in the game. If we were to do this, what is the legal and contractual process for removing an OPM in this late stage of the construction project? And would this jeopardize any reimbursement, because of the compliance issue with MSBA? Those are my two main concerns, but this motions really voice from the councillors, all the colleagues here, that we are working hard, fighting hard for our constituents to protect our taxpayers. Councillor Kitchie gave a great history of the disappointment in the construction and the mishaps, but to put it financially, we got this budget, we started out with $340 million as the initial budget. We've gone from 340 to 380, and now potentially $420 million project going forward if this move forward. So it's such a big discrepancy from what was proposed to now if we're going to carry this forward. My only other question is maybe to the maker of the motion on the second part is about the clerk of work. Whether to replace the owner's project manager move forward or not. Do you have it in mind that to have the clerk of work no matter what? Whether we keep the same OPM or not?
I think you can't replace the OPM with the clerk of the works. And I think right now, if I'm reading it right, the assistant city manager is basically designed as the clerk of works right now. So he's the one who's on the ground trying to, but I think it's overwhelming. He has another job to do too. And so it's like you're trying to balance both ends. And that's the reason why we just threw in a clerk of the work piece, because the assistant city manager basically is in that role right now.
And the motion is just, for right now, just to explore.
To explore, I understand. And that's going to come back with the report, I'm sure. But I think I want to have it in mind too, what it would look like if the explore is to stay the same, but the OPM, we're going to have the clerk works, where the budget comes from and so forth, the responsibility. So, like I said, this is two good motions, which I am going to support. Thank you.
Councilor Noon?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not just this council and administration, everyone back home too heard this time and again and share the frustration with regard to this OPM guy. And for me, I see the OPM is equivalent to the clerk of work. In our cases, we have assistant city managers alongside with the OPM. This OPM really, time and again, some issues is brought before this council. I know that we are close to the finish line and we have to do it as soon as possible. I know both motion is asked for the exploration. If we can, we should. But my concern, I know the report's going to come back and said replacing OPM at this stage is a bad idea, particularly for us on a number of projects that we have had or scheduled to have with the MSBA on the accelerate repair project and so on and so forth. It's going to look bad on us, the city of Lowell, if we were to do that at a later game like this. It's close to the finish line, so I'm waiting for a report. So if we can, we should. But report will come, sometime soon, I guess. Thank you.
I'll get you wrap it up.
Thank you, Mayor Rourke. An OPM got put in place back long ago because of clerk of the works didn't have standards to them. An OPM has a standard to it. They need to be a professional engineer and a licensed architect and have so many years of experience. Never in my lifetime have I ever heard anyone free from accountability. And that's basically what we're saying here. Since we're at the end, you're free from accountability. If the MSBA feels that way, then they should pick up the tab of the overruns. If they feel as though we shouldn't hold people accountable, then they should give us the 60-something% of the overruns. The problem is this company is free from accountability. And we're watching it every time he stands up here or they come back to us. Sat on a report since July about floor needing to be replaced and comes out in questioning in December and tells you, yeah, that's $2 million. Okay, yeah. What? At some point, government needs to hold people accountable. I don't care if it's the last day. We were taken advantage of the whole way, and every single counselor here outlined one way or another they felt that way. Legally, non-legally, I'm sure. I was once on a board that removed somebody from an MSBA project midway through because of the same accountability issues. And I don't think that there's a rush to judgment. I think it's like the mayor said, explore. But I think at the end of the day, we've been taken advantage of in a very negative way when you watch moving $2.2 million of furniture monies into this to cover things without coming back to us and telling us, hey, we got overruns here and there and everywhere else, and never explaining where that $2.2 million went to. Thank you.
Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. I'd just like to touch on, and the mayor brought this up as well. Again, these two motions are asking to explore. Everyone that spoke tonight had questions. They asked the legality. They asked how does the impact. That's all this is, exploratory. Get some information so we can make an informed decision in the near future on this, because again, a lot is at stake with this project. I think we're in agreement for the most part. I just think we need the sound legal advice as well as professional advice. And maybe it's not a replace OPM, maybe it's a different avenue that's recommended, that we do bring in a clerk of the works that can breathe over our project manager's neck, because again, all of this comes down to making sure that every penny of our tax funds are going to where they should be. And if there's any problems and challenges along the road, we're notified immediately, and we're not chasing from behind the eight ball. I just think we need to rebuild a sense of confidence amongst the council, but more importantly, amongst the public, that we're going to get this project to the finish line and mediate as many hiccups as possible. Because, I mean, I don't know how many more overages this city and this council can handle. I mean, this is, it's pretty much the axe is meeting the grindstone at this point. So I just think people need to realize this is explore, and I hope through you to the manager and your team, we can get this back in a pretty quick, timely manner. So because a lot is riding on this. Thank you.
I just, being an exploratory motion, I'll save my comments to when the report comes back. All in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Returning to the agenda. General public hearings, 4.1 being passed 7 p.m. 4.1, we have a loan order, 2025 MSBA Accelerated Repair Program. I'll give the second reading by title. To borrow $2,600,000 to pay the cost of design costs related to the potential accelerated repair projects, including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto. We're going to start the public hearing. All those speaking in favor. In favor, in favor. The portion of the meeting is closed. All those opposition, opposition, opposition. The portion of the meeting is closed. The motion to adopt by Councilor Gittia, second by Councilor Mercia. Questions or comments? Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Noon.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Council Scott.
Yes.
Council Yem.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Council Chow.
Yes.
Council Dakota. Council Gitchia.
Yes.
Council Janice.
Moving on, 5.7, Councilor Belanger, request city manager, repair, replace fence around the Moody School, seconded by Councilor Chow. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have a situation, the Moody School, where there's, several areas that are in disrepair around the school, and a few of the teachers I met over the weekend, and, they're very concerned about the kids in recess, and some of it stems back a year or two. We're not talking total replacement here. I think about 70% of it is in pretty good shape, but we've got some very bad areas, and it's very important, and we're better than this. So please, Mr. Manager, through you, if you could have the proper department get out there, take a look. These teachers are very concerned, and I told them we'd get them some action, so it'd be appreciated. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. 5.8, Councilor Belanger. Request city manager to have proper department enhance the lighting at the crosswalk connecting Lowell High School and a parking garage on Father Morissette. Second by Councilor Mercia. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Real quick, I just want to exemplify here highlight the location of leaving the main entrance of the high school going to the garage. The crosswalk area is very, very dark, and it was brought to my attention by some coaches there at the high school, and I went by at night, and certainly I don't know how it went on this long without being noticed, but it's pretty dark, and if we can maybe install some lighting on the side of the garage onto the street, that might help. Rather than deal with the red tape from National Grid, I'd like to see some action there sooner rather than later. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through to the council. Councils, we did look at this area, and that's something that we could put maybe a light coming off of our garage, but also just for the edification of the council as well as the edification of the citizens. We're going to be coming through that whole area, up French Street, from Bridge Street, and reimagining the whole area come spring of this year. So there's going to be a lot of activity. But point well taken, Councilor. We'll look to see if we can somehow put a light in that area to make it a little bit easier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. We have two motion responses. Section 6.1A, Washington School. Councilor Getchia.
Mr. Manager, thank you for the report. I think it highlights everything that we were told from the Assistant City Manager as some issues were occurring, and I thank you and your staff for your response.
Excellent.
Mr. Manager.
Go ahead. Good.
Good.
Okay, great. Moving on, 6.2, Councilor Getchia, Lowell High School.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Mr. Machado, Assistant City Manager. In the report, it says, under current status, all exterior doors are currently latching and secure. Any issues reported by the school have been addressed promptly. That wasn't the case prior to the motion, because people were extremely upset that these doors weren't latching. When you mean promptly to the motion, or promptly as they're reported?
CFO, City Manager Machado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. After the motion, yes, we had several issues with the doors.
Do we have underneath the Suffolk construction response, it says more extensive field review is scheduled between Monday, December 1st and Wednesday, December 3rd, involving the hardware consultant. Has that been done? It's under the Suffolk one. It's the third.
Yeah. I believe that's been done. I can confirm.
Yeah, because I think that's important, because, this is what the OPM's job is to do this stuff, not an assistant city manager. And long before it's installed, they should know what's being installed and is it properly installed. And, that's the piece that, when you look at this, it's kind of surprising to me. When you look under the Perkin Eastman's response, it says Perkin Eastman is working with a company to review all installed hardware for compliance with specs, fire, life, safety requirements, and proper operation. Wouldn't that have been our OPM? Shouldn't they have been looking at that? Long before our architect?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, but there were issues from the start with the assay abloid in the doors.
Yeah.
That I feel like that should have been picked up early on.
Yeah. So you see what we're saying all along. We're in the same place, going back and forth. And this is the memo from you guys. I can feel your frustration too. So hopefully we get better at this, because these are the things that the teachers see and they use. But when you close up a wall, we don't get to see and use those things. That's what I'm questioning. On the OPM's end, if you can't do a simple door when you close up these walls, were they done right? And are we going to have these problems in 5, 10 years from now? Or maybe even less. We just had a pipe burst down there because they didn't heat the area. And that's on them. You know, a simple walkthrough, and I don't know what they don't do over there, but I think that you probably feel more of a frustration than I do at this point. But thank you again for the response. I'm hoping that I don't have to write motions more like this because it takes up a lot of our time, and it should be something that's done at the stages of a $420 million project on site, not in a council chamber. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. What subcommittee did that get sent to? Zoning? Oh.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, if I could add the neighborhood subcommittee to the zoning joint subcommittee, because all the changes had to affect the neighborhood, so the neighborhood should have, in it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On 7.4, to approve the change of the Edson Cemetery Chapel to the Gerard Jerry Lage Chapel. I spoke to his daughter in Florida last night, and I told her about this, and she said if you could change, if this does pass, which I hope to God it does, because he was a remarkable man who served practically 30 years on the cemetery commission, and most of those times as the chair. But how it says Gerard P. Jerry Lage with a Jerry with a G, if we can change that to a J, that's not a G. It should be Jerry with a J, according to his daughter. Okay? And if there's going to be a dedication somewhere, a dedication at some time, can we have an advance notice so the daughter who lives in Florida could come up and have enough time to get up here? Because she is so honored if this would pass, and I hope to God that it does. He's well deserving. Thank you.
Councilor Scott?
Thank you. I would just like to thank Rep. Howard for bringing forward the funding for the McNerney Park playground. It was a great job. That's all. Thank you.
Councilor Getchia? Yeah, I had it off earlier. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Council Mercier.
Yes.
Council Noon.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Council Scott.
Yes.
Council Yem.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Council Chow. Council Dakota. Council Getchia.
Yes.
Council Janess.
Section 8, 8.1, constable bonds, communication, request approval for constable bonds, which to adopt by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Scott. Roll call.
Council Mercier.
Yes.
Council Noon.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes.
Mayor Rourke.
Yes.
Council Scott.
Yes.
Council Yem.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
Council Chow.
Yes.
Council Dakota. Council Getchia.
Yes.
Council Janess.
Section 9, reports from the subcommittees. 9.1, Parks and Rec Subcommittee, December 3rd, 2025. Chairwoman Mercer.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to do the report, but if there's any of my colleagues that would like to go and elaborate, that's fine with me. I might have left something out. Last Wednesday, December 3rd, we held the Parks and Recreation Subcommittee meeting at 6 o'clock in this council chamber to continue the discussion with the members of the Board of Parks regarding the changes and clarifications to the policy handbook, specifically the proposed tournament fee structure. Those who were present at the meeting were all the members of the Board of Parks: John Linehan, who is the chair, Tom Conta, member, Keith Rudy, member, Car ND, member, Melissa Morales, member, and Heather Larkin, the Board of Parks secretary, Peter Fatacanti, Recreation Director, Jeff Lesniak, interim superintendent of Parks Department, my two subcommittee members, Councilor Gitchia and Councilor Belanger, and last but certainly not least, Matt LaLasha. We started the meeting with the first fee change, and that was the custodial fee per 4-hour block. Previous, the fee was $150 and was raised to $200 for a 4-hour block. That was the only fee change. This custodial fee was determined and aligned by what other communities charge. For example, although Lowell went from $150 to $200 per 4-hour block, in Worcester they changed theirs to $400 per 4 hours block. We didn't, the Board of Parks went with fees that made sense, that wouldn't burden the residents. Next, we discussed a new proposed tournament fee structure, and I will tell you that we learned that this fee structure never existed before. There was never a schedule done for fees in regards to permit needs for tournaments. The fees for a synthetic field is $1,500 per day, and for non-synthetic field, it's $225 per day. These costs do not include lights, if needed, or trash disposal. Trash disposal / trash removal fee is $200 per day. This fee may be removed if the tournament is removing their own trash. Lights are $100 per day per 4-hour block per park if needed. Councilor Gitchia talked about money from the parks going into the general fund, and that it was better served to keep the money in that department for maintenance of the fields. Councilor Gitchia also stated that use of open space in a city should not be used to produce revenue. Chairman Linehan commented on the use of enterprise funds, which we had years ago, but it became too restricted and it didn't work out. Matt LaLasha talked about a perpetual care fund that could make sense. He also commented on the proposed fee structure and said it was much needed, and he said it was a great accomplishment. Councilor Belanger indicated all fees should be used to maintain parks and protect investments in them. All our subcommittee members talked about the amount of time and effort, as well as the common sense and hard work that went into compiling all the data into the policy handbook. And with that, I entertained a motion from Councilor Belanger and seconded by Councilor Gitchia to accept the new Board of Park fee schedules as presented. The vote was unanimous, and I'm asking this council if they have any questions, and after any questions that they may have, I'm asking for a roll call from my colleagues, and if it passes, to be sent to the Board of Parks so that they can know of our outcome. If I left anything out, please feel free to comment.
Repeat the motion, Councilor?
Yes, the motion is to have a roll call to support the fee changes, the fee structure.
Good. By Councilor Mercia, second by Councilor Scott. Are there any questions, comments? Councilor Scott?
I just asked, we don't have to advertise that or anything to take the vote?
Councilor?
Thank you. So my understanding is this vote would allow me to craft an ordinance and then to put that in front to, 150, what is it, chapter 150, I think is the city ordinance for the fee schedule that I need to amend. So I would put that back in front of you for a first reading and then a public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Belanger?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick comment, if I may. I do, for starters, I'd like to thank the Board of Parks for all their hard work and investigative work on this. And it turns out that, the fee structure we were charging is far less than cities our size. I'm talking it was a fraction of the costs. And we all know the cost of synthetic fields today, and to maintain good fields like we do, it costs money. and that these new fee schedules basically a break-even proposition if people rent the park for ball games or events, whatever it may be, so we can just maintain the park and keep it clean. It's a break-even proposition. We want our parks utilized. We encourage usage, and but nonetheless, we do have to just meet costs. So that's what we're looking to do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
So in regards to Council Mercer's motion to amend the fee schedule, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. There need another motion to accept the report as a report of progress by Council Gitche, second by Council Yam. All those in favor say aye. That passes.
So, I have a question, Mr. Mayor, through you to the city solicitor. So I have here the Border Park Policy Handbook. They have to vote on, they didn't actually support this yet. They have to vote on this as well. So we had this subcommittee meeting with the purpose of them knowing how we felt about it and what our right.
Yeah, your motion tonight, Councilor, was to send it to the solicitor's office. His office will write it up and then send it back to us for approval first before we do anything.
So how is the Board of Parks tied into this?
We can make a motion to send it to them too, so they can see it as well, if you like. Go ahead, Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can, at least on the, for the fee side, I'm happy to send a draft over to the Board of Parks along with whatever came out of the subcommittee meeting so that they can discuss it, take a vote if they're in favor or not in favor. And if they vote favorably, I'll just bring the ordinance amendment back in front of you.
All right, then, well, next week? Next year? It seems like a long time.
Spring's a little ways away. We get time. We got spring's a little ways away. Yeah, okay. Probably January.
All right, thank you.
Excellent. 9.2 is the Environmental Flood Issue Subcommittee, December 9th, 2025. Next week, Council?
Next week, Mr. Mayor.
All right,
Thank you.
Good. 9.3, we have a wire inspector, National Grid, to request a relocation for one existing SO pole at 138 Cross Street. I motion to accept by Councilor Gitche, second by Councilor Chow. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. We have two petitions this evening. 10.1 is a property damage claim for a toll reimburse. Motion to refer to law department for a report recommendation by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilor Noon. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. And 10.2, Mr. John Iannucci requests permission to speak with City Council regarding installation of speed bumps on London Street. Mr. Iannucci here this evening? Not you, sir. All right, motion to refer to Transportation Engineer for report recommendation by Councilor Scott, second by Councilor Robinson. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Section 11, under announcements. Councilor Robinson, go ahead.
I would just like to say thank you to everybody that came out, including yourself, Mr. Mayor, City Manager, some of my colleagues. The generous spirit was alive and well this past weekend with the Salvation Army, and I'm waiting to see this Saturday if they did in fact reach their goal. I was fortunate to go out with some of our firefighters, and I believe between the four communities of firefighters filling the boot, Tingsboro, Lowell, Drake and Chelmsford, I believe. That was a combined almost 29,000 raised just off that. And this beautiful sweater that I've put on, as my colleague Councilor Gitche, it's from the exclusive collection by Nutter Designs, Nutter Holiday Designs.
That's what you usually wear, so.
and it was part of the, and please, LTC, can you please zoom in on my colleague, Councilor Gitche, because he has a sharp one on too. Thank you very much.
It was such a good outfit that the two councilors next to me didn't want to come in tonight.
Councilor Mercer, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two, very briefly. The City of Lowell is hosting a menorah lighting ceremony on Monday, December 15th at 5:30 in front of the Lowell City Hall, and usher in the holiday of Hanukkah with refreshments and a menorah lighting with Chabad of Neshoba Valley and giveaways from PJ Library, Pollard Memorial Library. And the second thing is about you, Mr. Mayor. Our mayor will host a Sun Santa Drive, Pints for a Purpose, to benefit the Sun Santa Fund and local families from noon to 4 at the Old Court at 2931 Central Street in Lowell. The event is new this year, and he told the Sun that his goal at the event is to raise $10,000. I will help you by giving you 100 of that. So here's my check donation for that.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Thank you very much. Anything else this evening? Do we have the information about? You want to do it? Ms. Georges, go ahead.
So tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., there is an organ donor event here at City Hall for people that would like to attend.
Awesome. See you out front, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Motion to adjourn by Councilor Mercia, second by Councilor Chow. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Everybody have a great evening.
What?